Welcome to Set the Sails, a Tampa Bay Buccaneers podcast. Brought to you by Bucs Life Media and our official sponsor, the Jersey Wave. Streaming on FanStreamSports.com, airing on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And now, your hosts, James Flash Ludeman, James Britbug Wilson, and Ruth the Truth Cagias. We are going live in 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a very special edition of Set the Sails, the podcast. My name is James Ludeman, and hanging out with you here at least for the next few minutes. Coming to you live. We're doing a very special edition of the show tonight. And it's just going to be me for now. And here's the thing. I'm going to open up the phone line. That's right. It's 727-300-5904. The phone line is open. If you guys would like to call in and talk about the big news that's just come down from the NFL, of course, from your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Welcome, Castro Man Jonathan. First time watching New Jersey. What's up, buddy? Want to thank you all for tuning in. Again, this is a very special edition. Of course, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers announced about 25 minutes ago. And as a matter of fact, if you were watching Beauty and the Cleats just a little bit ago as well, it was first announced on that show that, hey, there's your ID. We've been looking all over for that. My wife was looking for her license for a long time, and so now. But in case you hadn't heard yet, of course, the newest running back to join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is, of course, none other than Mr. Leonard Fournette, which is a huge, huge signing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we actually did get some information as well on that signing, so we're going to bring that to you now. The phone number is down at the bottom in case you do want to call in and join us, 727-300-5904. Again, 727-300-5904. Let me know if that's working. We've been having some issues with our phones, but I've been trying to fix it. So if I have to fix it during the show, I can do that. But let me give you guys the details of what is going on. Earlier today on the Twitter account, which you can follow us on Twitter at sales_set. Earlier today, we said on the Twitter that I didn't believe there was a chance in the world that the Buccaneers would sign Leonard Fournette. I really didn't. I didn't see that as a possibility. The Buccaneers. Oh, we got a caller already. Look at that. And we're gonna get to our caller here in just a second. But we're gonna get to in just a second. But here's what I want to say about this first. To me, I think the Buccaneers are doing what needs to be done to make a strong push for a championship and make sure that you got your there's an echo. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. But here's the thing. To me, hold on. You may have to, if you've called in just now, you may have to call back because there's a pretty bad echo on that end. But here's the thing. I am very convinced to me that the Buccaneers are getting a fantastic deal out of this. The Bucs are really doing what I believe is due diligence on their part. And here's the breakdown of this, and then we're going to get to our first caller here. The Bucs are giving Leonard Fournette, and this is from Ian Rappaport, by the way. The Bucs are giving Leonard Fournette a 1-year deal worth a max value of $3.5 million, sources say. He gets a $2 million base salary, and incentives are based on rush yards and play time. Plus, with no offset from his Jaguars deal, Leonard Fournette could double dip, and if he wins his grievance, he can add another $4.2 million from the Jaguars. That wouldn't be coming from Tampa Bay, of course. So that is the deal that has been broken down, and that's per Ian Rappaport, of course, of NFL.com. You can check out his stuff there. But let's go ahead and get to our first caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello, caller. Can you hear me? All right. I'm sure he's going to call back here in just a second. But yeah, so again, that's kind of the deal of what like clockwork. All right, caller, can you hear us now? Nope, still can't hear us. This is great. This is the benefit of live television, everybody. But tell me in the comments, guys, what are you thinking? How are you feeling about this soggy biscuit? Okay, yeah. Well, oh my gosh, Twitch. This is great. We do special editions of shows, and now we get interesting calls. Here we go. Here comes our caller again. We'll try this again. I'm telling you, we're answering this phone. Maybe we'll try calling him. Why don't we try doing that? Because I think that might be part of the problem here. So let's try calling him this time and see what we got going on.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. No, yeah, I know. It's okay. So obviously the big news for the Bucs, Leonard Fournette. Tell us, how are you feeling about it? Good, bad, and different. What are you feeling? That's true. And look, I don't know if you heard, but I read the details of the deal. I still think the Bucs are getting a very good value for this. I think $3.5 million is a good, is a good number to me. What do you think?
That veteran presence, that Rojo's killing experience, Vaughn, decided for that experience, and then you have McCoy, so that 1-2 punch between him and McCoy, I think is going to be the game changer,
Yeah, so and that kind of brings me to my next question for you here, because we have Nick Gonzalez who's watching on Facebook, and I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see his comment, but he said, "Are we over the cap now? And who do you see getting cut now?" Now, here's the thing: we're still not over the cap. The Bucs had I'd say about roughly around $5 million that they could have played with, and I think that's, to me, it's very interesting dynamic. This is what I tweeted earlier, that I said I don't know if the Bucs necessarily need to do this move, but I think it can, as you said, it's a good reward. So out of all the running backs, and listen, we have an army of them now apparently, but who do you see being kind of the odd man out here? Maybe odd men out. This could be more than one position that we're talking about losing here. Agumbawale. True. All right, and look. True. Okay, one last question for you, Castro man. Listen, I'm kind of, I don't know if any other Bucs fans are feeling this way, and maybe if you guys once he's done here can call in and kind of just let me know how you're feeling about it. But here's the thing that I'm really struggling with. I'm struggling with the idea that the Bucs are picking up Leonard Fournette when you have a guy like Ronald Jones, who, to be honest, could do a lot for this team, I still believe. So what are you looking for Leonard Fournette? What is his role? Is he a running back one, or is he still going to kind of be the guy behind Rojo? I don't think that's the case, but what do you think?
I don't think he would be the guy behind Rojo, but he runs his offense. I honestly think he's going to be like that with Garrett and Warren. Running down the mouth and goal line. Halfway through,
Yeah. True. I would agree with that. All right. Well, awesome. Dude, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it. All right, buddy. All right, that was Castro Man Jonathan calling in. Sorry if we're having some volume issues. We just finally got our phones working back again. But if you guys want to call, the number's down there below, 727-300-5904. We're getting immediate reaction here from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, of course, signing Leonard Fournette, formerly of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're gonna talk a little bit about it's just so interesting. This all happened so quickly. Troy Hammond, Fournette to Bucks. Yes, that's what we were talking about, my friend. I love it. Oh, awesome. Let's put that comment up here. I love it too, buddy. So let's talk a little bit about this, because really this all kind of happened quickly. That's a good one. Here, let's put this up here. Sorry, it doesn't show your name there, but it said Rojo will be a running back too. Think Fournette never had the team around him like the Bucks are putting around him. Yeah, that's a great point. Listen, that is a fantastic point. The Bucks are offensively, I've said it several times, not just on this show, but other shows, that I think the Bucks are the best offensive team in the NFL right now. And I think adding a guy like Leonard Fournette, listen, I'm not sitting here and saying that Leonard Fournette is going to be the reason why the Bucks win the Super Bowl. I'm not going to say that, because I still think that defensively I need to see a little more. But what I will say is getting a consistent running back there like Leonard Fournette is going to help you. It's going to make you better. So let's talk a little bit about Leonard Fournette. So let me tell you this right now. 2017, 1,040 yards, 9 touchdowns. Not bad. Of course, 2018, didn't have a great year, of course, injury. 2019, last season, he had 1,152 yards, 3 touchdowns, though. I mean, that to me is, you have all of these yards, but you can't punch it in. I think that's kind of what we're looking at here. And look, I know Nick Foles was there last year, and then, of course, Gardner Minshew, and they were trying to be kind of this pass-heavy team. So, and that's kind of the dichotomy of what we have here in Tampa. We have you can say what you want, but this is a pass-first offense. That's what the offense is built for. And I think now that you have Leonard Fournette, and listen, I don't want to just, throw Rojo out the window and say he's not relevant anymore, or the Bucks are going to cut Rojo, because that's not going to happen. It's not. There's no way that could happen. Rojo has been your number one running back this entire training camp. The season, by the way, starts in literally less than a week and a half. I mean, you're right here. So it's silly to me to think that Leonard Fournette is going to come in and be now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from his playing ability, but I don't think he's going to be as great starting out. We're going to have some issues with that. There are those people out there who believe that it won't. Bruce says he loves him. See, it's true. He does love Ronald Jones. And I got to wonder, I always wonder about these things, especially when, the GM, Jason Light, for all the negativity that Jason Light gets, I think Jason Light deserves a lot of credit for not only this season, but for a couple of picks in the last few seasons. I think it's easy for us as Bucs fans to look at him and go, man, you shouldn't have picked him, or you should have just stayed with this, or Jameis Winston wasn't the man, and things like that. We can look at that now in hindsight and go, okay, Vita Vea, wonderful pick. I think Vita Vea is one of the better picks that Jason Light has had. I really do. Devin White, another one I think is going to be a great pick. Coming into another year with Devin White, I think he's going to be fantastic. Getting Tom Brady, of course, big time. Gronkowski, the list goes on and on. Leonard Fournette is going to be another guy, I think, that you're going to look at and go, kudos to Jason Light. And I don't know if this was entirely all Jason Light. This was probably a group decision. I think anytime you have Tom Brady on your team, it's you maybe a committee. I don't know. Maybe Tom Brady leads the committee. I don't know. Bruce Arians, I'm sure, had a big part of this. So that's going to be an interesting thing. Nick Gonzalez, will Fournette pass blocking give him the edge over Rojo? Now, that is an excellent point. Nick, you hit the nail on the head for me. I think if we're looking at pass blocking, you got to give the edge to Leonard Fournette. Do I think Rojo is going to be completely out of it? I really don't. I just can't see. They've been in training camp now since the end of July, maybe early August. So we're now into September. So you've been over a month now doing training camp. I honestly don't believe that you're just going to throw away Ronald Jones over the last month than to just to bring in Leonard Fournette. I don't see that happening. I really believe that Rojo is still going to be maybe not as big of a key to this offense as he was, but I think he's still going to be a big key to it. I really do. I don't think his role is going to be as big now. I think now that you have – and look, who's the odd man out? Because Darian Gumawale, I think, is going to be your odd man out here. I know some people are saying that Cameron Brate might be a guy that you can, look to trade. Maybe. I still don't see that happening either. Tom Brady likes the tight ends way too much for that. I know some people are saying O.J. Howard might be gone. I don't see that either. See, here's the thing. You look up and down this team and you go, man, who could be the guy to go? And it's hard to pick. I think Ogunbowale right now may be the guy to go. Shady McCoy, potentially. But I still don't see him really being gone either. So, again, it's going to be interesting to see moving forward how the Bucs are going to handle this. Not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday, the Bucs are taking the field against the New Orleans Saints. And it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be in the backfield for most of the game. I don't think you sign a guy like Leonard Fournette just to not have him. I think he could be the running back one, to be honest. And somebody said earlier, Rojo could be the running back two easily. And then what happens with Shady McCoy? Are you just going to have Shady for, swing plays and catching the ball? Because I think that's what McCoy is really known for, is being a catching running back. And that's what Tom Brady really likes. Now, Leonard Fournette, I think, could do that as well. But, again, it's going to be interesting to see where the Bucs go with this. The Bucs are stacked at running back now. They have more than somebody said earlier on Twitter, and I thought it was very creative, that they really liked seeing the Bucs put together like an ultimate Madden team. And I think that that's so true. There's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth to the Bucs just signing all of these people. Listen, I'm telling you, earlier today, when the news came out about Leonard Fournette possibly coming here, I immediately said no, because I just didn't think there was any way. And you know what? The Bucs made a believer out of me today. The Bucs made a believer. I'm just saying, I wasn't. It's hard for me to say I wasn't surprised by it, because I absolutely was. Someone says there's no reason for McCoy to stay now. McCoy was going to be the number 2 back. Now he's for sure the number 3 back. You don't sign a guy like McCoy to a 1-year deal to have him be the 3rd string. There you go. That's an excellent point. I want to know what the thought process is. Not that I'm mad about it, because I'm really not. I'm not mad either. I'm shocked. I think everybody would say that they're more shocked and surprised than angry. I really don't believe in my heart of hearts that you sign Leonard Fournette for any other reason than for him to be a running back one. And J.P. Peterson put this out a little bit ago. Of course, you can listen to us on fanstreamsports.com, as well as the many other podcasts, including Beauty in the Cleats, which was on tonight, by the way. Wonderful show from the ladies tonight. J.P. Peterson said this: Leonard Fournette is signing with the Bucs. Very talented, but let's hope it's not a Deshaun Jackson situation where it messes up your team chemistry. He should be highly motivated. Had over 1,600 yards from scrimmage, including 76 receptions. I mean, you look at that stat and go, that's a done deal. He's a running back one right now. And I'm going to tell you, it's hard for me to sit here and argue against it. I mean, you look at this guy, and this man is a weapon. Corey Hayes is here, hanging out with us, of course, and Corey says, so many weapons. I mean, this is unreal what is happening right now. Did you honestly think, and I want to just ask you a legitimate question, Because if you tell me yes, I want whatever drugs that you're on. Not really, because I don't do drugs, but I want whatever you're taking, okay? If you told me at the end of last year that we would be having Tom Brady as our starting quarterback, Rob Gronkowski as a tight end, and Leonard Fournette as a running back, I would have said you were crazy. There's no way that I would have ever believed that this would have happened. None at all. And I'm going to tell you once again, just like I said earlier, I absolutely sat here today. Thanks for that angry face, Mike Prude. That's weird. I would have sat here today, and all I'm saying is there's no possible way that I would have picked Leonard Fournette to be here today. None. Absolutely none. Period. So here's the thing. What's your reaction to this? We're going to hang out for just a few more minutes. Of course, your reactions, we're going to get them now. 727-300-5904. Call in. Let me know how you're feeling. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you mad? Are you frustrated? Maybe you're mad. I see some angry faces, or at least one angry face. How do you feel about it? 2020 Bizarro World. Shooter in the stash. Right here. Booyah. He called it. Called it. Right there. Perfect. Let's see. Let's go through some of these comments here. Who gets 27? Oh, that's a great question. To me, I think you got to give it to Leonard. I think Leonard gets it. He's got more money. Let him buy it. let him buy it. I'm just saying. Best weapons Brady has had in his career, and look what he did with what he had. Just imagine what he's going to do with all this. The rich get richer. That's a great comment, Trevor Boyd. Fantastic. I'm telling you, I love it. The rich get richer. Let's see. Robert Westfall says, hope you get this question, but do you think this offense is better than the Super Bowl defense? Ooh, that's a good one. That might be the question of the night. I'm going to leave that up for a minute. Wow. Put me on the spot, Robert. I appreciate that. That's good stuff right there. Boy, that defense was so good. It is hard to go again. Listen, I am a firm believer of, offense wins games, defense wins championships. I'm a huge believer in that. So it's hard for me to go against the defense that we had. I mean, John Lynch, Derek Brooks, Dexter Jackson. I mean, just crazy amount of defense there. Warren Sapp. I mean, just all of these guys that are just crazy good. And for me, it's kind of tough to throw out. But then again, you look at this offense right now, and you're saying, well, how in the world do you go against this offense? How do you game plan against this offense? And to be honest with you, I have no idea how you game plan against us now. I mean, if you got one weapon, now you've got 5 that you could possibly work with. Mike Evans, still your number 1, I think. I know a lot of people want to lean toward Chris Godwin, and I totally understand that because I think Chris Godwin is eventually going to be a number 1. Again, Mike Evans, consistent every year. Chris Godwin, consistent last several years. Fantastic. Rob Gronkowski, not going to be the every down tight end, but within the 20-yard line area, there's not a whole lot of people better than him. O.J. Howard, I think, is going to have a big year. A lot of people disagree with me on that. I really don't care. My prediction, and I've said it on this show many times, O.J. Howard, Pro Bowl this year. I really believe it. I do. Cameron Brate, I think, is kind of the X factor for me. I think in big situations, I think Cameron Brate's going to be that guy to come in and do a really good job. Now you have Ronald Jones, who I thought was going to be good anyway, as it is. I think you're going to get a lot of good stuff with that. Then on top of that, you look at Leonard Fournette now and Shady McCoy, because I think those are the 3 that are going to ultimately end up. I feel kind of bad for Keyshawn Vaughn through this whole thing because it's kind of hard to see where Keyshawn Vaughn's going to be. I think Keyshawn Vaughn's going to be the long-term solution, but I just don't this year and maybe even next year. I don't really see it happening, at least not in my opinion. Let's go to some of the comments here. Let's see. Oh, we got a YouTube comment. Thank you. Love the pickup. Fournette is a definite upgrade. Good. I like that. Rojo gets 27. I disagree with that. Let's see. We go into the ship. I don't know. I'm still not sold on that. I'm still not sold on the Bucs getting to the Super Bowl this year. I'm not. I think this definitely gets them closer. I think the NFC Championship is definitely a possibility now. If the Bucs play consistently, maybe. You never know. Keep shady. You never know who's going to get COVID. That makes sense. Ogunbowale is going to be the odd man out. First team to win the Super Bowl at home. I like that. We have to keep shady. Said that. Kind of think Rice would eat up Donovan Smith. Yeah, dude. Yes. Yes, you are totally right. Listen, I think Simeon Rice could come back right now and be dominant. I'm telling you, that man is in fantastic shape. If you have not seen him lately, do yourself a favor and go look, because, man, that dude still got it. I'm telling you right now. How good can the defense be? Definitely can't run against us. Yeah, listen, I think the defense is going to be good too. Listen, when you're not putting when your quarterback's not putting your defense in impossible situations, you're going to be better. That's football. If you have a consistent quarterback who can come in and not put you on your own 30 after throwing another interception, your defense is going to be better. It's proven. You've seen it in the NFL. It can happen. Long comment here. Let's see. The Bucs are going for it all right now. They've needed more consistent play and depth at running back. They now all of a sudden have a solid running game, something they haven't had since Doug Martin's last good year. That's true. Jason Light and Bruce Arians' mindset right now when it comes to bringing in talent is if we can do it, make it happen. They're going for it all. We are in win now mode. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly with that. Wholeheartedly. We are absolutely in win now mode. Vaughn will be special teams. I could see that. That's a good one. How many yards does Fournette get this year, and how do you distribute the ball? In the backfield, I know Shady and Fournette have incentive-laden contracts. Yeah, and actually, just to kind of throw this out there again, just in case you guys missed the beginning of the show, we saw Ian Rappaport tweet out this earlier. He said the Bucs are giving Leonard Fournette a one-year deal, max value of $3.5 million. He gets a $2 million base salary, and incentives are based on rushing yards and play time. Plus, with no offsets from his Jaguar deal, Fournette could double dip if he wins grievance and add another $4.2 million. So, again, it's not a bad deal for the Bucs at all. I think the Bucs really won here, because some of the early reports was that they were going to give him a one-year deal of $5 million. So, I guess based on incentives and play time, he could potentially pass the $5 million mark. But that is a great question. How many yards? Listen, I think Fournette, if he's the every down starter, if he's the every down back, I think that he could potentially, if he stays healthy, have a 1,000-yard season. I'll say that. I think his yards catching is going to be good. I think he's going to probably be the kind of more of a pass catching back, but again, that's just me. We need to win the division first, step by step. I completely agree with you. Good point. We have to keep Brady healthy. Yes. Rojo isn't going to get the chance to prove that we'll lose him. Yeah. No, James, we won. Yes, we did. 1,600 yards for $2 million. That's a lot of yards. I mean, especially for a guy who hasn't had that many yards. I mean, his career. So let's talk about his career. He's got 2,631 yards and 17 touchdowns. I mean, that's, the best numbers he's had so far is 1,152 yards. That was last year. And he didn't have a whole lot of touchdowns. Now, again, he was in a very difficult situation in Jacksonville. So, again, you're coming to a team that is very offensively focused and is really trying to build an overall offense. I'm telling you, I still believe that this may be, if everybody's healthy, one of the best offenses we've ever seen in the NFL. I mean that. And please don't take that as me being a homer, as some people like to say, because I'm a Bucs fan. No, that's not what I mean. If you look at this offense from top to bottom, offensive positions, there's not a whole lot better. There's really not. Kansas City may be right there. I think the Ravens are going to be right there in the mix in the AFC too, because I think that their offense. They had a great draft, by the way, the Ravens. Do you think our offensive line is our weakness? No, I actually don't. I think Tristan Wirfs is going to bring a lot to this team. We've already seen that in practice and in training camp. Yeah, he's still going to have to learn some, and I think there's still some growing that's going to have to take place there. But I think he's doing well, and I think he's impressed coaches. I know he's impressed me in the videos that I've seen. I enjoy it. Ryan Jensen's another guy. His dad, Dean's a big friend of our show, of course. And I think he's going to have a great year. I think Ryan's going to do really well. Brady needs a pass catching back. Who has better hands, Shady or Fournette? Well, if we're going by history, we're going to go Fournette because, unfortunately, and this is not a knock, I guess, but Shady is not as good at holding the ball as Fournette is. I will say, Jordan Butler. Okay, what's up, Jordan? I see you. Nick Anderson, this is a win-win. If he's great, we can re-sign him. If he stinks, we can dissolve the partnership. That's Nick, good point, man. That's an excellent point. If this stinks, then no harm, no foul, right? Jordan Butler says, I don't necessarily feel bad for Vaughn. Both McCoy and Fournette are only here for 1 year. After 1 year, Vaughn goes from running back 4 to running back 2. Dare will be running back 5. Hey, James, this is Jordan. What's up? Good stuff. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, Jordan. Yeah, listen, I think Vaughn is the long term. I don't – all of these guys signing for 1 year, I think are going to do him good because he'll be able to kind of sit back and look and kind of just pay attention to what's going on in front of him. So how would you rank them? We'll end with that. How do you rank them? So who's 1, who's 2, and who's 3? We'll do the top 3 running backs right now. Who's going to – now, I don't mean as far as talent-wise. I mean as far as, how you think they're going to line up, how you think they're going to be on the field. How is Bruce Arians going to utilize them in the offense? So who's going to be the running back 1? Who's going to be your main handoff guy? Who's going to be your running back 2? Maybe kind of that swing player, kind of the pass catcher we've been talking about as well. So what do you guys think? Cody Love, all-time great offense or all-time great hype? Your opinion. Yeah, listen, I want to be balanced because I can tell you there have been times, and even over the last 5 years, that – to me, I look at this team and go, man, they really have good potential. I'm telling you, I think the Bucs have, like I said earlier, I think the Bucs have the potential to be one of the greatest offenses of all time if they stay healthy, which is tough to do in the NFL. I won't lie to you, and if they stay consistent. That's the biggest thing for me. Consistency. That has been the Bucs' biggest battle. Over the last several years of this team is consistency. The Bucs, you cannot win one game and lose the next 3. You can't do it. You have to win 2, 3 in a row. You have to go on a winning streak. You have to do these things in order to stay consistent in the NFL. And you're not going to do that by losing 3 in a row after you've won a game. It's not going to happen. Let's see. Joe says, okay, so Chris says Fournette, Rojo, Shady. I like that. See, that's kind of where I'm at too. Joseph says, Lightning and Thunder. Imagine both of these dudes in a pro set behind Brady. Play action is going to be sick. Yes, I agree with you. Boy, I'm telling you, if this doesn't get you hype for the NFL in just a little over a week now, you need to check your pulse. Because I'm going to tell you right now, this is by far one of the most – I've said this before, even in the past on other shows that I've done, but this is by far the most exciting season we have ever seen in Tampa Bay history. And listen, I'll even compare it to the season after we won the Super Bowl when there was so many high expectations for this team, because I remember those expectations and they weren't met, and it was really bad. So I want to, again, be balanced and say consistency is going to be the biggest thing for the Buccaneers. If they can stay consistent, then the sky's the limit for this team. It absolutely is. I think you've added a running back who can get you one more win. I had the Bucs going 11-5. Wouldn't surprise me if they finished 12-4. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to take 12 or 13 wins to win this division, in my opinion. That's just me. All right, let's go through some more comments here real quick. We're not going to be on much longer, but let's try to get some more comments in here. Let's see. Castroman, Rojo 1, Shady 2, and Fournette 3. Fournette missed camp with us and doesn't know the playbook. See, I think players play, man. I think players play, and I can't see Fournette being a 3. Antoine says Fournette, Shady, Rojo. Ooh, see, that's tough. I'm on kind of on both sides of the fence with this. I feel kind of like a flip flopper because I'm sitting here saying, well, you can't put Rojo at 3 because Rojo's been the number 1 in training camp, even with Shady there. But then you got a guy like Fournette. You can't put him at 3. So what do you do with It's just it's tough. This is going to be. This is a great problem to have, isn't it? I'm just saying, isn't this not great? Like the greatest problem in the history of the team to have? Definitely good. Fournette, Rojo, Shady, Vaughn could leap Shady if fumbles become a problem for him. Yes, I agree with that. That's a good list. Jameis is punching air right now. Who's Jameis? I don't know who that is. Let's see. What up, Luda? Buck, what you heard joining us. What's up, buddy? Let's see. Does any offense in the NFL have the weapons we have? Again, I still would lean. I look at the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs probably have a good, really, really, really good offense over there in Kansas City for sure. And, I think the Ravens too. They're another team that I look at, and they got some weapons too. So I don't know if they have as many as we do, but they have a lot. So I think those 3 teams, as far as offenses go, definitely stand the test of who could be the best. And I think there are some other offenses that'll be good. I still think Seattle is going to be good. I think even, and I know this is going to be surprising for some of you to hear from me, but I really think New Orleans has a good offense too. And they added Emmanuel Sanders this offseason, and dude's good. You can say what you want, but he's very good. If they figure out what to do with Kamara, I definitely think they're going to be good as well. Let's take a few more comments here before we get out of here. Let's see. I think this team is poised to destroy defenses. Gronk likely lead team in touchdown passes and Fournette in touchdown runs. Yeah, that would be interesting to me because I don't think Gronkowski is going to lead the team in touchdown passes. The only way I see that happening is if a lot of them are within like 15 yards of the end zone, and I think that might be it. Shooter in the stash, just order the Super Bowl rings already. Yeah, I'm not ready to get on that train yet, just yet. If the Bucs team from a few years ago can rip off 5 wins in a row to finish the season 9-7 and have our first winning season in a decade, this team can do at least that, if not better. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm guessing that's Justin again. But yeah, I agree with you. I remember that run too. I was a season ticket holder. That was a lot of fun. Bucko Bruce, I switched to Facebook. What's up? Rank the tight ends too. There you go. Rank them. What do you got, Turner? What do you got? Let's see. The offense is a pick your poison. Running back was our biggest weakness before Fournette. Not weak now. That's true. Who are they going to decide to double? I'm not sure what that means. Week 1 score predictions. Yeah, that's a good one too. 35-21. That's a good one. Biggest question mark for us. I want your opinion. Oh, now you see, you just got to throw this question in here. Look, I still think the biggest question mark for me is defensively. I'm not going to lie to you. We have a very solid defense to me. Absolutely, I do. But I want to see a better start for the defense. Last year, the defense had some problems in the beginning of the season, really turned it around toward the end, toward the last, I'd say maybe the last half. So probably like 5-6 games, maybe 7 games. I thought they turned it around and played really well. But I definitely think that the defense is going to have to step up. And again, the defense is going to be playing some very difficult offensive teams this year, including the Kansas City Chiefs at home, which I think is good. They're going to have the Packers, the Saints twice, the Falcons twice, and the Panthers twice, of course. But I think the question mark for me as a whole, I think and Buck, what you heard hit it. Huge drop off after the D-line starters. I think Levante, Devin White are going to be just fine. I like Sean Murphy-Bunting, of course. I think he's going to have a good year. But outside of that, I mean, Jamal Dean too, I guess. But outside of that, I think there's still some work that needs to be done. So I'm with you. I think that the drop in defense is going to be for me. I think we'll keep 4 backs in the stable: Fournette, Rojo, McCoy, and Vaughn. Dari probably gets sent down to training squad and gets one of the 4 protected spots. That's a good point. But I don't see the reason to keep Dari. I really don't. Listen, I'm not the biggest Agumawale fan. I'm not. I'm sorry. I know that may surprise some of you. If you've watched our show, I can tell you for sure, I don't think that's – yeah, I just don't think he's as good. I really don't. I think White shuts it down in fourth quarter. That's good. Turner, Gronk, Brait, Howard. I disagree with your list. Mainly because you're not showing my boy O.J. Howard enough love. Listen, I'm telling you, I think O.J. Howard's going to have a big year. You guys are sleeping on him, but I drafted him in the first – not the first round, but I drafted him. And he's currently riding the bench because I have another tight end who I think is going to do well. But still, I still picked him up. You still double Evans because he's better one-on-one. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Winfield looks promising. Yes, he does. Have you seen the video of him, by the way, this week? He has done some cool stuff in other positions too. So don't sleep on him either. Let's see. Oh, well, I'm not going to say that. I think our D-line is depth is good. Nacho, Anthony Nelson. I agree. At least the Bucs won't have a single player responsible for 30 to 40 turnovers every year. Brady doesn't turn the ball. Listen, I promised myself before I jumped on here that this would not be that kind of show where I would, talk about our former quarterbacks like that. But anyway. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much, by the way, for those of you that watch our show. It honestly is a big deal to us that you guys have tuned in tonight and hung out with us for the 40 minutes here and talk some news, talk some Leonard Fournette. I can tell you we cannot do this show without you, and I appreciate you. By the way, check out my new shirt. This is the new shirt from a company in Tampa. Here, let me move this out of the way. You guys can see that. But this is actually a shirt from a new company in Tampa called For the Bay Clothing Company. They're supposed to be joining us on Monday night and to talk some Bucks and talk some Tampa Bay. So make sure you guys are tuning in. We are on every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you guys are tuning in. If you're not following us on social media, please do so at sales_set on Twitter. On YouTube, you can watch our channel as well. It has all of our episodes. Fanstreamsports.com. Please check out our stuff on fanstreamsports.com. We have stories on there. Of course, it's home of the J.P. Peterson Show. You can check that out as well. You remind me of the guy from This Is Us. Yes, I know that. Everybody says I look like him. No, I've never seen an episode of it, but everywhere I go, everybody tells me that. So thank you so much for reminding me. Again, we're on Twitter. We're on everything except Instagram, which we need to probably get on Instagram. And, of course, make sure you check out Bucks Life. We got a lot of really cool stuff going on from there, stories all the time. And where's the British guy? He's off tonight. So it's just me hanging out with you because I missed Monday. I wanted to come on and hang out with you guys for a few minutes. So, as always, as we do every show, let's go Bucks. Welcome Leonard Fournette to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week. Guys, be nice. Be good to one another. Treat each other well. And for goodness sakes, wear your mask. Even if you don't want to. Wear it anyway. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Set the Sails. Listen to us on Apple Podcast, a Bucks Life media production in association with FanstreamSports.com. See you next Monday on Set the Sails.